Well, good evening and welcome to the Universal Joy Center and our Wednesday evening joy gathering. So, as we begin today, I want to start with our land acknowledgement and to express my gratitude to be standing on this historical land that has been cared for generations. Cared for by the Wendat peoples, the Mississaugas, and the Haudenosaunee nations. And it's now home to many diverse First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people from across Turtle Island. So maybe walk alongside our Indigenous family, recognizing our shared stewardship of the earth, and let us carry forward the spirit of unity, understanding, and resilience. And by making this acknowledgement, we strive to be allies and take an active part in reconciliation. And this fosters the commitment to create a world that works for the highest and best good of all. It's important. Miigwech. Thank you. So let us begin in consciousness as we start this evening's gathering. Please join with me. It is in the quiet of my mind, in the loving space of my heart, that I acknowledge and recognize the power and presence of the One, the infinite creative intelligence, the divine energy of love and light that permeates all things at all times in all ways. I know that I am one with this power and presence. And so I know too that whatever it is I have need of, that it is the source and the substance of my very existence. And so I breathe into that idea and I feel fueled and filled by the possibility that it brings. And I know that all is well. So trusting in that, allowing that to be the force for good in my life, I willingly, lovingly share it, express it, and allow it to be my truth. And with gratitude and grace, I release these ideas into the law of mind. It is done. All is well. And together we say, and so it is. Well, so tonight's talk is visioning your new life. And it's really about each one of us finding our own space, our own rhythm in life. And how do we do that? So visioning is not about, it's not about what life should look like. It's about listening for what life is already trying to become through you. So it's a little different. In a visualization, we would create pictures and maybe smells and activity. But in visioning, we're allowing the universe to reveal to us and through us a greater vision that we might have for our life. So it's not control, it's cooperation. So when we think about visioning, we might think that it means making a plan, setting a goal, forcing clarity, pushing outcomes. But it's actually none of those things. It's really about the being in this place of quiet and possibility so that we can allow this inspiration to come up through us and be expressed in our life experience. So spiritual visioning is quieter. It is being in alignment with the universe, not trying to control. And it's not asking, what do I want to make happen? That's not it. It's what wants to happen through me now. So very different process, and one that requires that we just really surrender into the moment so that we can allow ourselves to be quiet, to be receptive, and to open to that intuitive guide. So one line that I like is that visioning is not about pushing life forward. It is about making space for life to happen through you. Yeah? Sound good? So when we think about the ideas of control, because I know there's many of us who really like to control things. I would be one of those. I work on trying to diminish that a little bit so it's not It's not what I'm doing, but I have to work at that a bit. So control comes from fear. I'm not sure if you are aware of that, but control comes from fear. So the fear of lack, the fear of getting it wrong, the fear of missing out, the fear of being left behind, whereas alignment comes from trust. Trust that life has intelligence, trust that timing matters, trust that something larger sees more than we do. Like there's something in the universe that has this greater oversight that can see everything that's happening or knows what's coming and has a better idea. So when we try to control, we tighten. When we align, we soften. And when we're in that place of softening, that's when the receptivity really expands for us and makes a big change. So force creates tension, receptivity creates flow. And this is where we're wanting to go. We're wanting to really get a good sense of, what kind of life do we want to live? Do we want to live a life of struggle and frustration and annoyance and drama? Or do we want to create a life that flows much more easily with whatever is going on, which means that if something happens, rather than me judging it, criticizing it, and getting all caught up in it, I can look at it and go, huh, okay, now what? And in the now what, I begin to see a new potential, a new idea, and something bigger, brighter, and maybe something even better. One of the things I wanted to share was a little story, and the story is called The Wrong Shoes. So, have you ever been absolutely certain you were doing the right thing, and yet every step felt miserable? Well, I once heard a story about someone who decided that they were going to go for a hike, not a stroll, a hike. They had the backpack, they had the water bottle, they had the motivation, but what they did not have were the right shoes. So they showed up in these sleek, stylish, very impressive shoes, the kind that say, I have my life together, but absolutely do not say, I am prepared for uneven terrain, right? So every step hurt. The rocks felt personal, the path felt unfair. And instead of questioning the shoes, they questioned the trail. This is too hard. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Why does everybody else seem fine? And finally, after enough suffering to earn a small medal, they stopped, changed their shoes, and suddenly the trail didn't need to change at all. The trail was fine, but the experience did change. Same path, different alignment. So here's the thing. A lot of us are trying to walk into a new life wearing the shoes of the old one, or the belief system, or the attitudes, or the ideas of that old life, the one that really wasn't working for us, but is very, very familiar. Because we kind of like that familiar place. We like to get into that familiar zone and think that that's good. But if it's really uncomfortable, it probably isn't. It's a little bit like wearing the wrong shoes on a hike. So when we're going into this idea of visioning, and we're going to do a practice here shortly, when we go into this idea of visioning, what we want to do is just kind of clear the slate a little bit and allow ourselves to listen intently to what might be wanting to be birthed through us. So, what we're getting rid of is old expectations, identities, timelines, and definitely the old pressure. Okay, we want to release all of that. And then, if we get rid of all that, we'll see that everything comes up a little bit easier. So, visioning isn't about forcing yourself down the path, it's about asking, what fits who I'm becoming now? Right? We're all in a state of becoming. So, who are we becoming in this moment? One of the things that I like to think about is, life doesn't arrive through pressure, it arrives through presence. And when we're present, we notice what hurts or what's heavy, what no longer fits. And instead of pushing harder, we adjust. And that's receptive visioning. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're paying attention. We're paying attention to what's going on. We're paying attention to how we feel in our body, how we're feeling in our relationships. We want to really pay attention to what's going on for us. And if we do that, then we can begin to experience something a little sweeter, a little bit nicer, less painful, possibly, right? Because we're wanting to get to a place where we can cooperate with this greater intelligence, possibly. Right? So if we think about the universe as this one big thing that we're all a part of, that we live, move, and have our being in, we come to recognize that I'm in it. And so it's in me, I'm in it. It's like, now, how do I let that flow? How do I allow that to come through? So I'm not the source of my vision. I am the receiver of it. And so it's about, again, listening. And just, when you think about a radio signal or a TV signal, it tunes into that signal to pick something up. A sailboat will open to the wind, and a seed responds to the season. Like, we're not going to plant something out there tomorrow in the middle of a blizzard, but we might plant something come May or June, depending on where you live, right? So we want to make sure that we're doing things sort of harmoniously with the way the universe itself is unfolding. Another thing, I know many of us have heard this, that a sculptor, when they're sculpting something, they're not trying to force the statue into being. They remove what doesn't belong. Have you heard that before? So a sculptor sits there with this piece of granite or this piece of stone or this piece of whatever, and they're knocking stuff away. They're chipping away at it. And what they're doing is they're getting rid of everything that's unnecessary to what actually is ready to be birthed in that stone. So visioning is the same thing. We're not creating a new life from scratch. We're revealing it by releasing what no longer fits. Easy peasy? Sound good? we're changing how it's done or how it could be done, and we're allowing ourselves to come up with a whole new way of being that allows us to surrender into what is and begin to create something beautiful as we move forward. All right, so we're going to go into a little visioning session here so that you get a sense of what this might look like. And keep in mind that, what we're going to do in this short little window of time here, if we had more time, we could create something really incredible with it. But I just want to give you a taste. So I want to invite you to sit comfortably in your chair. Relax your body as best you can. No place you need to go, nothing you need to do at the moment. Just allow yourself to breathe and to relax. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing that, or just soften your gaze. And I want you to just begin by focusing on your breath. Inhaling, holding, exhaling. Just taking 2 or 3 of those breaths. And as you're breathing, allow yourself, just feel your body soften. Feel a receptivity within your mind and your heart. Kind of an awakening or an opening or an expanding, but a willingness to listen. And so what I want you to do is let go of what you think your life should look like. Let that go. Let go of urgency. And let go of comparison. So just clear your mind of those things to begin. And now I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions. What wants to emerge now? Listen. Catch that vision. What wants to emerge now? What feels quietly true? What feels quietly true for you in this now moment? Let that information come into your conscious awareness. What feels light, even if it's unfamiliar? What feels light, even if it's unfamiliar? And just listen. And remember, you don't need the whole picture. You just need a snippet. Just a little something, something that is speaking to you now. You only need the next right resonance. What is the resonance? What is it that you're hearing within your heart space that is saying now? Now's the right time. Grasp that little something something that's niggling its way into your conscious awareness. Grab a hold of it. Notice how it feels as you grasp it and begin to see the potential for it. And when you've got that one idea, just know that you can come back to this visioning process at any time. You can begin to sit in the quiet and ask these questions again to get something new, to get something brighter, bigger, something that moves you. That listening to that still small voice is one of the most powerful things we can ever do. And it allows us to really awaken to the divine nature that we are, creating possibility and opportunity, creating excitement and delight. Your new life is not something you chase. It's something you receive by aligning with who you are becoming. We're always becoming something more. And when we live in that energy of becoming, there's something remarkable that occurs that allows us to really begin to picture our lives in a bigger, brighter, and maybe even more expansive way, which is absolutely brilliant and exciting. Now, you might want to take some notes, and if you have pen and paper handy, you can do that now. Just write down a couple things that may have come to you during this very brief visioning session. And just know that as you align with that new vision, even if it feels like something you go, I don't know how to do that. Of course you don't. You haven't done it yet. So just know that the universe looks after the how. All you have to do is have the intention to create, the intention to listen. And if you can do that, then you begin to create something really remarkable. So when you stop forcing the future can finally find you. It's like you're playing a game of tag, who's it? Well, I'm it. But if I'm running from it, then I'm going to be running constantly, and I'm not going to actually land into that place where I get it, where I feel it, where I allow it, where I become it, and where I really begin to live from that. So remembering that visioning is not about striving, fixing, or forcing. It is a spiritual practice, and it is an act of listening. Listening. In this gathering, as we begin to do this process, as we begin to feel what's going on for us, we can begin to look at how this could really serve us moving forward. And there's lots of tools out there for visioning. I know the Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith has a visioning practice that you can find online, or I think he's got it on YouTube or whatever. And again, it's somebody who can lead you through the process, because sometimes that helps. The other thing you can do, of course, because we're streaming this to YouTube, you can go onto YouTube and play this recording again. And you could play it even daily if you wanted to. Just set the prompt for that particular part where I lead you into it, and allow yourself to see what comes. The other thing I want to remind you of is that although in the process itself maybe nothing came, keep listening, because you might find when you head off to bed tonight that boom, there's that thing. There's that thing that you were waiting for, that next step, that next moment, that next possibility. So we want to be aware that although we've done the practice, the information we're seeking might come in an hour or a day. So we just keep doing the practice. The question that you really want to ask yourself whenever you do this at home is, what wants to live through me now? What wants to live through me now? Okay? And it's about getting out of the ego space, getting out of our head space of I know, to that place of, let me just sit in the not knowing. Let me sit in the question. Let me sit in the curiosity. And then from there, see what transpires as a result. And pay attention to images, any sensation or feelings that you have. All of that is speaking to it. And then the quality of peace and courage and expansion are kind of what are going to come out of this as a result. So I want you, when we're all done here tonight, just to take a moment and journal, what did you notice? So just write down, what did I notice? What did I notice in this process? And just write down single words, little sentences, whatever kind of pops up out of your memory. And then from there, go, now what? What's my next step? All right? What is my next step? What am I going to do now that I have this new possibility, this new vision, this new something that I want to express? Yes? Yes, yes. We're good? I certainly hope so. So visioning isn't about seeing the whole path. It's about consenting to the next authentic step. Yes. And now I'm going to invite Kathy to give us our offering stuff.
Hey everyone, as we come to the close of our gathering today, I want to honor the law of circulation, the truth that nothing thrives unless it flows. Giving is not separate from receiving. It is what keeps life, abundance, and supporting moving. At Universal Joy Center, there are no paywalls and no one is turned away. This space continues only because people choose to give, consciously and freely, to what nourishes them and others. If tonight brought you value, clarity, or inspiration, giving is how you affirm that this work matters and continues. Give from presence, give from what feels aligned, give as a yes to the flow. You'll find the donation link in the chat, or you may give by e-transfer at admin@ujoyc.ca. And if tonight is a time to receive, that is honored too. Thank you for helping keep this living, growing, joy-filled community in motion. And I'll ask you to please repeat after me. As I give, so I receive. My good now flows to me in a steady, unbroken, ever-increasing stream of success, happiness, and abundance. I am blessed. Blessings abound for all life everywhere. I am grateful. And now I just want to talk about some announcements. We have a number of opportunities for you to join us. We have some great classes and events, and you'll find all this information on our website. So go to ujoyc.ca, and you'll also find the link to our joy gatherings. That's actually where I go every single Wednesday night. I go to our website. It's right there, front page, easy. So now I'm going to turn it back to Barbara so she can do closing treatment.
Thanks, Kathy. So let us join together in consciousness as we close in the same way that we begin, consciously. As I breathe life into this moment, I accept and know the power and presence of the One. I feel this enlivening energy within me, a sense of possibility and opportunity, a new excitement and delight as I grasp this new vision that has come to me and allow myself to sit in it and to stand in it and to walk with it and to see where it takes me and how it feels. And as I acknowledge this power and presence, I begin to see that my life is a gift and a blessing, that it is something truly remarkable and beautiful, something exciting and delightful, and something that I am incredibly grateful for. This journey is a journey of expansion. It's a journey of awakening. It is a journey of possibility. And so I allow myself to really sit in that energy and know that I am absolutely enough, that I'm the right person at the right time in the right place, doing all the right things, the things that allow me to live to my fullest potential, to be the person that I was created to be, the person I was born to be. I allow that person out authentically, honestly, and I let that energy create wherever it goes. And as such, I feel truly blessed, truly blessed. So I'm grateful for this moment. I'm grateful for this evening. I'm grateful for all of us who have gathered together today. And I know that as we move into our community time and our time of sharing and having conversation and talking about the service, I know that something beautiful comes from that that absolutely uplifts me in ways I hadn't expected. So, with gratitude and grace, I take these ideas, I release them to the law, and I know that all is well. All is well, and I let that be the truth. And together we say, and so it is. And so, for anyone who needs to go, you're more than welcome to leave at this point. But if you'd like to stay and join our community gathering and be with us in conversation, asking questions or sharing insights, you're invited to unmute, turn your camera on,